Good morning, morning. Good morning, morning.
Hi viewers, welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned to Tobago Updates Television. Into the sporting segment, I think we finally have President of the Tobago Rugby Football Club, Miss Keifa DesVignes, online with us. Keifa, morning.
Morning to you, Marcus. Good morning to the online viewership.
Good morning,
Trinidad
Keifa.
and Tobago, our diaspora, and by extension, the world. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. I mean, it took a while to get you on, but of course we had to get you on to talk about the exciting news coming out of Tobago rugby football. We're talking this morning about your developmental meet and of course your brunch. Let's share with the viewers what's that all about. I know it's on tomorrow.
Okay, so tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the Signal Hill Secondary School field or compound, the Tobago Rugby Club, we are hosting a brunch. It starts at 10 a.m. and that is in aid of ensuring that the teams, particularly junior teams, are able to participate in all the upcoming activities for rugby in Trinidad and Tobago. So after the brunch at 10 a.m. is followed by a developmental meet where we'd see the retired players coming back to impart some knowledge onto the youth. We also have the executive of the club, parents for the athletes who are in school, and just everybody who is interested in rugby at the moment. I would have also reached out to persons who have been messaging me constantly over time to join rugby so they can come and see what rugby is about. And for all persons interested in sport and rugby enthusiasts, the development meet is really for everybody. Yeah, so we're hoping to host this tomorrow. The development meet should start at 1 p.m. Again at the Signal Secondary School field, just to see everybody in one space, see what we need to work on to ensure that we have more players making the national teams.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Signal Hill is now your home. I know you guys. You were based at what, Colonel Hall? So you guys have moved to Signal Hill?
No, actually, no. Signal Hill Secondary School field is what we're utilizing. That is one of the schools that is heavily involved in rugby at the moment. So we're using their compound to host the development meet and the brunch. So that is not our rugby home. Currently, we are still training at Cutler Hall.
Okay.
And Monday and Wednesday from 5 to 7 p.m.
And before we get into the discussion about what I'm seeing there, some sumptuous delights there for the brunch, tell me about the upcoming meets that you mentioned there that you guys are raising funds for.
Okay, so currently we have been engaged by teams and so on in Trinidad for our teams to come to Trinidad to play. So we have the Fatima Sevens upcoming. We have a Rugby Easter camp as well, and the Shakonia Sevens. These are most of them are 2-day events. So we want to ensure that our youth players get the opportunity to play not only in Tobago but also against their counterparts in Trinidad. Of course, to see what level they are at, and so that they can just play rugby. Because the aim of everything at the end of the day, I always say, is to play rugby. Yes, we raise funds. Yes, we socialize and so on. But the ultimate goal is to play rugby. So these fundraisers would aid in accommodation, transportation, food, etc.
Okay. And what have you guys been up to? Have you participated in any kind of competitions this year? Tell me about some of the players that are currently representing Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, so currently we have Shane St. Louis, who is now the coach of Signal Hill Secondary School. Congratulations to him. He has been doing a fantastic job. And we have Mr. Micah Stafford as well, who is currently training with the national team for the upcoming Rugby Americas North Tournament and Panama Games.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So these are two very young, aspiring young men. So we want to say congratulations to them and good luck. Currently we have as well, Marcus, our Sand Slam. So this is our second year. And Marcus, I want to see you here this year. It's taking place on the 27th and 28th of June 2025. And as you know, we are trying to make Tobago the the destination for beach rugby in the Caribbean, or as a matter of fact, in the world. Yeah, this is the niche we're trying to build. So that is what we have upcoming for the club as well.
Yeah, fantastic. And would you say that you guys are finally getting the sport of rugby to really grow in Tobago?
I want to say finally, this is sort of a rebirth, Marcus, because rugby has been a very big thing, a big deal when I joined rugby in 2014. Back then we had the Tobago International Sevens that would have seen at least 32 teams locally and internationally on the Tobago pitch. Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's introduction, but it's more of a revamping of rugby on the island.
Oh, that's fantastic. And about tomorrow, it's open to members of the public, or is it only for persons who would have been participating in the sport of rugby?
No, it's open to everyone, because rugby is the type of sport that you don't know you like until you see it, Yeah, Marcus. So just as myself, I would have seen rugby being played on Shore Park about 10 years ago, and I was automatically and immediately intrigued to the point where I would have dropped netball, I would have dropped basketball, I would have dropped track and field, every other sport that I was involved in, and I would have gravitated to rugby only. So yes, we are inviting everyone, parents to the students who train at the various high schools throughout Tobago. We are also encouraging you to come out and see what your kids have been doing. Come out and see what this rugby is about. Come out and see that it's not an injury-prone sport, but a very enjoyable sport that the kids do truly enjoy and love.
Yeah. And I'm seeing also you have a brunch on tomorrow, delicious brunch menu. And I like the way how you guys are segmented it in terms of breakfast in bread. So explain that. Okay, we'll name them. Breakfast in bed and my kitchen. I like the play. I like the play here. So okay, let's go through there. And for persons who may not be able to attend tomorrow's event and they may want to participate in the brunch, delivery available as well.
Marcus, currently we haven't sorted out a delivery option. So for now, it's pick up at, as I mentioned, at Signal Hill Secondary School. We just wanted to make the breakfast somewhat a little different from what we were accustomed doing. But we also understand there are the persons who like the traditional taste. So we're giving persons the best of both worlds. Breakfast in bed, of course, inspired by the menu. Because, breakfast in bed should be something exotic, something nice, something a bit over the top here. And then we have the traditional kitchen, or my kitchen, which is the coconut bakes and the salt fish and that kind of thing. Yeah, so you have 2 plates here on breakfast options. So it should be exciting and, of course, always delicious. And the box filled to capacity. Yeah?
Fantastic. And is there a number persons can call if they are interested in participating and, of course, also purchasing the breakfast?
Yes, of course. So the flyer has a number, but I would still repeat. It's 787-5472. That is our Vice President, Miss Janelle Wright. You can contact her. And I guess I could also give persons my number. I'm the president of the Tobago Rugby Football Club, Keifa DesVignes, 382-4110. So please call, place your orders, and show up.
Yeah, and just before we let you go, Keifa, any final or departing words? Just repeat again what time you start tomorrow and venue.
Okay, so the brunch starts at 10 a.m. at Signal Hill Secondary School compound, followed by a development meet where we play rugby, we socialize, we coach in some cases, and impart knowledge, especially for the older retired rugby players. That should start at 12 p.m. So it's 10 a.m. Signal Hill Secondary School compound. Tomorrow, April 5th, 2025.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No. Yes, Marcus. So I was just going to say, I just want to I use this opportunity to thank all the persons who have really been assisting us in pushing rugby in Tobago, the THA, members of the THA, all the sponsors who would have pledged to make this Sand Slam in June 27th and 28th a success, we would have received a lot of commitments. So I just want to thank the Tobago and Trinidad entrepreneurs, and thank you so much for believing in rugby and for wanting to see rugby go as much as we do. Yeah.
Hey, fantastic. And definitely we're going to have you guys back to talk about this Slam 2025. That's the flyer. It just looks very exciting, and I'm expecting that it's going to be bigger and better this year. Keifa, thank you so much for being with us here this morning, and I trust that tomorrow's event is going to be a huge success, and they're going to get the necessary funds to ensure the continued development of rugby in Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago by extension. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Marcus, and thanks for having me.
Not a problem at all. Always. So guys, we've been chatting there with Ms. Keifa DesVignes, President of the Tobago Rugby Football Club, talking about their developmental meet tomorrow and brunch, all in aid of the development of rugby, young players. Not everyone interested in the cricket and the football and the netball and the basketball, but as she mentioned before, rugby is not the dangerous sport that we think it is. You know, to get out of tomorrow, and you can see all the youngsters and some of the returning players going through their thing there tomorrow. All right, so guys, this brings us to an end, the sporting segment. But don't forget, today is nomination day in Trinidad and Tobago. You forgot? It's our election in 24 days. But today is nomination day, and Tobago Updates, we're going to bring all the action live from around 9:30 a.m. Stay tuned to Tobago Updates Television. But before we get to nomination day at 9:30, it's going to be Adana. She's going to return with Good Morning Tobago right after the break. But of course, don't forget, share the live, share the live, share the live. Have a fantastic day.